Hello, my name is Axel Scherer. I will give you a quick introduction into configurations for UVM. Configurations is a mechanism that allows you for ultimate flexibility of your verification environment. The configuration happens from the top down, so you start with your test, hand it down to the test bench, and so forth into your subcomponents. The options are without limits, right? So you can basically configure anything you want. In an interface UVC, for example, you can control whether an agent is active or passive, how many agents you have, you can configure connections, address space, and all that good stuff. The whole system is implemented using the UVM global configuration database. So let's look at this in the context of our little environment here. So we're basically using a test to configure our test bench to suit our needs. That's the whole gist of this, right? From the top down, we're telling the environment, this is what we need for a particular test. What sequences we need, maybe a change to topology, other adjustments, whatever it is. The test bench itself has a default configuration, but we can override this all from the top down and so forth. And so do the interface UVCs, right? So let's look at this in a different way. So in the top, we might set a certain value into the configuration database, and then at the bottom we might read that out, right, and adjust accordingly. Let's look at this in code. Here's a UVM test. This particular test doesn't do much, but it configures basically the virtual sequencer to its needs. It says to the test bench here, hey virtual sequencer, in your run phase please use the following virtual sequence. It doesn't say please, it says you got to do it, right? So a particular virtual sequence has to be running on the sequencer. So basically just controls the traffic in this particular case. Let's go down one level into the test bench. The test bench, as it has a lot of subcomponent, needs to do quite some configuration, right? So to build a proper environment. And here is a little snippet of some of the things it configures. For example, it configures the master and the slave. Here with this call, it particularly says I have one master, AVB only has one master anyway, and I make it active. And I also have one slave, and I make that one passive, right? Okay, so this information is stored in a so-called configuration object. We not getting hung up on the particular syntax and implementation details. But this object is then stored in the database for lower level consumption, right? So here we're setting this object to configure our ABB UVC. Okay? So now we are pushing down values down the stream in the hierarchy. Let's see how this gets consumed further down. We're going into the ABB system, ABB UVC. And here again we have a configuration object, and let's see how this is being leveraged, right? Here's the first get call, right? So here we're actually getting information from the database, and we are pushing that into our configuration object. Subsequently, we can use that information to build our environment. For example, we can take the information and configure our lower level subcomponents, like for example, our ABB slave configurations. So we're handing down more information. Later on here, we can also use this to create our actual components, right? So here we are taking the value from the configuration to build how many slaves we need, right? So we're creating these slaves based on whatever came down from the top. Okay? You can find more videos like this either on this YouTube channel or at support.cadence.com at the video library for the Incisive Simulator. Have a great day, thank you very much, and talk to you soon.